Hi folks, Shelley from Spin Cushions here. Today I'm going to show you how to make this square for my Siren Atlas collection called Persian. There's lots of fun with these clusters, but there's no pesky beginning clusters because of the way I've designed it. So it's just, if you're going to do a cluster, you're going to do a 5 treble UK or 5 double US cluster. And also like these cool little cross shapes formed in a couple of different ways. So anyway, let's get started. I'll be making mine all in one single colour, but I'll let you know if you need to do anything different if you're changing colours at any time. So we start with a magic circle or chain 4 joined into a loop, whichever you prefer. Okay, now the first instruction is chain 3 starting chain or a false stitch instead, like I like to do. I have a separate YouTube video showing that in detail if you want to check that out. Then we're going to chain 2 and we're going to do a 5 treble cluster UK or 5 double cluster US. So what you do is you begin 5 stitches but don't do that last yarn over and pull through 2. So I've started 1, started 2, started 3, started 4, started 5, and now I'll yarn over and pull through all of those loops on the hook, which I'm just pulling the work down and pulling my hook up, and that makes a nice cluster. Then we're going to chain 2 and do a treble UK or a double US, and that's our little repeat. So we just got to do 3 more clusters and a couple more of these stitches, and I'll come back and show you how to join up. Okay, so I've done all of my repeats. I've chained 2, so now all I need to do is pull my magic circle tight and join with a slip stitch to the top of my starting chain or false stitch if that's what you've done. Find it. There it is. Sorry. That's better. Okay, so that is round 1 done, and you do the same if you're changing colours. Now the next round starts the same way. We're going to do chain 3 starting chain or a false stitch, then we're going to chain 2. We're going to do a 5 treble cluster in this 2 chain space. 1, begin 2, begin 3, begin 4, begin 5, chain 2. Now we're going to do a front post treble around the next stitch, which is the cluster. So all we do is insert a hook around the cluster and do a stitch, chain 2, and then in this 2 chain space we're going to do another 5 treble UK or 5 double US cluster. Oops, I've just finished that stitch by accident. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 2. Now in the next stitch, which is this one here, you might have to pull your cluster aside to find the hole. We're just doing a single treble UK or double US. So that's our repeat. We've got a couple of clusters along each side, and in the middle is a front post stitch around the cluster from the round before. So I'll do all my repeats and come back and show you how to finish off. Okay, so I've done all of my repeats. All I need to do now is join with a slip stitch to the top of my 3rd chain of my starting chain or of my false stitch, which I will do now. Sorry, I'm not normally this fumbly, it's just through the camera it just adds an extra little bit of fiddliness to what is normally very, very easy for me to do. There we go. So join with a slip stitch, and there we go. That is round 2 done. Okay, round 3. We've got no more clusters now. That's it. We're going to do chain 3 starting chain or a false stitch. Then we are going to chain 3. We're going to skip this 2 chain space. I'm going to do a front post stitch around this stitch, which is the cluster. Treble UK, double US. Then we're going to chain 3. We're going to skip this 2 chain space, this stitch and this 2 chain space, and do a front post treble UK WS around the next cluster. Then we're going to chain 3 and skip the 2 chain space, and the next part is actually going to be our corner. So in the next stitch we're going to do 1 stitch, chain 2 and 1 stitch, trebles UK, doubles US. So there you have it. That's our side, and that is our corner. So we're only working around the clusters and in those single stitches, not the front post ones, but the ones that stand alone. So I'll do those quick repeats and come back and show you what to do next. Okay, so repeats are done, and now all I need to do is do a stitch in the same space as our first stitch, which is this one here that we did the slip stitch into last round. Treble UK WS. Now if you're changing colours here, chain 2, join with the slip stitch to the top. If you're not changing colours, you can do this my way, so chain 1, and if you're not used to doing things my way, popping a little scrap of yarn in that little gap hole we're about to close up is a good idea. Okay, now we're going to join with a double UK or a single US. So insert your hook as if you're going to do a slip stitch. Pull the loop through that stitch and then a stitch. So once that's done, it's placed as if we are in the middle of a 2 chain space. That joining with that stitch takes the place of the second chain. And the next round starts with working over that joining stitch, which is just like working over a chain space. All you do is stick your hook where that scrap of yarn is in that hole and do a double UK, a single US. And then 3 times we're going to do this small repeat, a double UK, single US in the next stitch, and then 3 in the 3 chain space. 1, 2, 3. That's 1 repeat. Let me do it all again. 1 in the stitch, 3 in the space, 1, 2, 3, that's 2 repeats. 1 in the stitch, 3 in the space, 1, 2, that's 3 repeats. Then we need to do a stitch in the next stitch, and then we're on to our corner, which is simply 1 stitch, chain 2, or 1 stitch. So fairly simple round. I'll go all the way around and come back and show you how to finish off. Right, so my repeats are all done. So now I need to do a stitch in the same space as the first stitches, which again is where that stitch marker is. So just a double UK, single US. Then if you're changing colours, chain 2, join with a slip stitch to your first stitch. If you're not, chain 1 and move that little stitch marker up. And again, join with a double crochet UK or single crochet US to that first stitch. Okay, now the next round is chain 3, starting chain or a false stitch. Then 5 times we're going to do this little repeat. Chain 2, then we're going to treble 2 stitches together but over the next 3 stitches, skipping the middle stitch. It sounds long and complicated, but all it is we're going to start our stitch in the next stitch, stop there, we'll skip that middle stitch and start another one in the next stitch, and then yarn over and pull through all the loops on the hook. So that's like the bottom of our little cross shape we're going to be making, and we have to do that 5 times. So chain 2, next stitch, skip 1, next stitch, start, and chain 2 again, and do it again. So it's treble UK 2 together or double US 2 together, and with any luck we will end up in the right spot at the end of our repeats. That should be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Chain 1, chain 2. Okay, so the last one of these stitches there should be 3 stitches left, and there are. Hooray! So begin a stitch in the next one, skip 1, and begin 1 in the last one. Then we have to chain 2, and in our 2 chain corner space we're going to do 1 stitch, treble UK WS, chain 2, and 1 stitch. So there you have it. That's the bottom of our little crosses. So that's your side, and this is your corner. I'll work around and show you how to finish off. Okay, all of my repeats are now done. I just need to do a stitch in the same space as our first stitch. It's the treble UK WS, just where that little stitch marker is. Pop a hook in there. Again, changing colours, chain 2, join with a slip stitch to your first one. If you're not, chain 1, then join with a WK single US to your first stitch. Right, the next round is a nice and easy one. We're going to start with a double crochet UK single crochet US over the joining stitch, so where the stitch marker is. And then we're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch. And then 5 times we're going to do this little repeat, which is 2 stitches in the 2 chain space and a front post double crochet UK single crochet US around the next stitch. That sort of brings that middle of the X in nice and tight. So now we do, that's our little repeat, so it's once, so now we do 2 stitches in here, 1 stitch around. It's 2 repeats, 1, 2 and around, 3 repeats, 1, 2 and around, that's 4 repeats, 1, 2 and around is 5 repeats. Then we're going to do 2 stitches in the next 2 chain space, 1 stitch in the next stitch, and in our corner 1 stitch, chain 2, 1 stitch. So there you go, that's a little repeat there. I'll work around and show you what to do next. Okay, repeat's all done. Now I just need to finish off this round by doing a stitch in the same space as our first stitch, which is where the stitch marker is. Then if you're changing colours, chain 2, join with a slip stitch. If you're not, chain 1, move your stitch marker up and join with a double crochet UK single crochet US to the next stitch, to the first stitch. Okay, 2 rounds to go. This round has V stitches in it, and in this case a V stitch is 1 stitch, chain 1, 1 stitch, all in the same space. So sometimes you'll know that should be chain 2 or chain 3, but in this pattern it's a stitch, chain 2, sorry, a stitch, chain 1, a stitch. Okay, so we start this round by chain 3 starting chain or a full stitch. Then we're going to chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and in the next stitch we'll do a treble UK WS. Then we're going to do 5 of these little repeats. We're going to, which is all it really is V stitches. So we're going to skip 2 stitches and do a V stitch in the next stitch 5 times. So that's a stitch, chain 1, a stitch. Skip 2 stitches and you'll notice that it falls in that front post stitch. Chain 1, a stitch, that's 2. That's 3. That's 4. And last one, 5. Now we are going to chain 1. We're going to skip 1 stitch, and we're going to skip 2 stitches, I beg your pardon, and we'll do a treble UK WS in the next stitch, and then, sorry, I'm just going to get back here. So after our 5th V stitch, we're not going to do any chains, we're just going to skip a stitch, skip 2 stitches and do a treble UK WS in the next. Oops. And then we are going to chain 1, skip that last stitch, and in the 2 chain space we're going to do 1 stitch, 2 chain, oh goodness me, 1 stitch. Okay, so that's our sides, and that is our corner. I'll work my way around and show you the last round. Okay, I've made my way all the way around. I just need to do a stitch in the same space as our first stitch, which is where that stitch marker is. If you're changing colours, chain 2, join with a slip stitch. If you're not, chain 1, move your scrap of yarn or stitch marker and join with a double crochet UK or single crochet US to your first stitch, whatever that may be. Okay, one more round to go, but nice and easy. Start with a double crochet UK, single crochet US over the joining stitch, which is where that stitch marker is. Then basically we're going to do a stitch in every stitch and a stitch in every one chain space. So one in the next stitch, one in the one chain space, next 2 stitches, one chain space, 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 1, 2, space, 1, 2, don't do that, 2, space, and we end with a stitch in the next stitch. That's our side done. Our corner is 1 stitch, chain 2, 1 stitch. So nice and simple. I'll go finish off all my repeats and show you what to do next. Okay, I've been all the way around. All I need to do is one more stitch in the same space as our first stitch where that stitch marker is. Get rid of that. Then chain 2 and join with a slip stitch to your first stitch of the round. And that is all there is to that. Sorry, just couldn't find my scissors. There they are. Finish that off. It will suit a little bit of blocking because it's so lacy. The lacier a block is, the more it tends to need a bit of blocking. So here we go. We have Persian in Bendigo Woolen Mills cotton and Persian in Cascade Ultra Pima cotton. Slightly bigger in the Bendigo. If you need to change this size, it's going to be a bit difficult because that last round really is necessary to finish it off. So if you need to make it smaller, you could either go down a hook size, or all of these stitches here you could do as half stitches instead of full ones. It wouldn't be quite as open that way, but it's a way to make it easier to make it smaller. If you need to make it bigger, just add extra rounds as you need of our last round. So there you have it. That is Persian from my Siren's Atlas collection. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon with another one, I hope. Thanks. Bye.